recording. Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is a behind-the-scenes look at the Computer Action Show. This is how we make the audio version. It's a bit long sometimes. You get to see stuff like between segments where we just kind of are farting around setting up. But we try to show you lots of different stuff as we go. We've got like shots of our screens here. You see that right there? Oh, you just saw we're watching ourselves because we're vain. And then here's like my shot. Oh, it's our show notes. Don't look at that. That's the secret sauce. Wouldn't want to show you that. So that's what we're doing.
Oh, yeah. Don't let them see what we're going to talk about.
I know, dude. I know. They got to watch.
That epically long page.
Right.
It's not long, guys.
All right. So we're ready to kick off the show whenever you guys is.
I'm ready.
I just need to kick some lights.
All right. Make sure you knock over the camera real quick.
Yeah, I can do that.
Let me know when we're recording the audio and the whatnots. And then I'm going to...
And 3, 2.
And welcome to the Computer Action Show Season 2, Episode 2. My name is Brian. With me, of course, is Chris.
Hey there, Brian. This week in computer history, February 1st, 1991, Sun Microsystems announces the launch of Java. Now, of course, everybody knows all about Java today, but back in the day, this stuff was brand new, and this was a whole new concept. Nobody knew what the heck they were talking about. It grew out of a project that was already at Sun for embedded devices.
Yep.
Called Control 7 or Star 7. And then they took that and they said, you know what, we've got components here for a graphic system. We've got components here for modularity. We've got all this different stuff. Let's move that forward and let's create something called Java. So in 1991, February 1st, Sun Microsystems officially launched development of Java.
It's a big deal.
Right?
That's a big freaking deal.
So that's this week in computer history.
That changed
And so does TWA?
everything.
TWA?
I think that means 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what language that is exactly.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure
Canadian.
It's Canadian. Yeah, it's Canadian. It's Canadian for 3.
Hey, so before we kick off too far,
Like if you're at a McDonald's or like a Wendy's up in
You get
Canada,
number trois?
it'd be like I want a number 12, please.
right, which is
And
the quarter pounder. Well, it's not a quarter pounder because it's Canadian. It's like it's a millimeter. It's like a 3 millimeter pounder. Yeah.
Right, it's a 3. It's a 3
It's a,
millimeter
no. It's a TWA.
pounder.
It's a TWA millimeter pounder.
Yeah, a twa pounder would be a really big burger.
That's what people in the know call it as a TWA pounder.
A twa pounder.
Yeah. All right. So before we get into the show, I wanted to talk about some things where
Sounds horrible.
a TWA pounder. Yes, it does.
All
that
right,
sounds
what
kinda
are we going to
dirty.
talk about?
Well, I was going to mention that we're going to relaunch some of the audio shows at Jupiter Broadcasting. I don't know. We'll call it something cute, something cute like the Commuter's Corner or something like that. We're gonna reinstate Radio Revolver.
Nice.
It's a show that focuses on old time radio classics, which if you drive a lot is awesome.
I always
because
really liked Radio Revolver.
it's like theater in
It's a
your
good
car.
show, yeah.
While you're driving, it's like theater in the car. And of course, so is Mac Murphy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we'll get some when the wheels get rolling. You might see some new Mac coming up. And then
You know what's horrible? Mac Murphy's not even available right now.
Oh yeah, because we did the site.
Yeah, we don't have. There's no Mac Murphy up there.
It's still in the feeds.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you can go get the RSS feed of it and get all of it. Because it's all the file storage is there. It's just the front end that changed.
Yep.
And then we're launching a new show called The Legend of the Stoned Owl, or I dropped the from it recently, so it's just Legend of the Stoned Owl.
And you know what I love about that? The name of that show?
What?
Is that it tells you what the show is.
Yeah, no, totally. Totally does.
What the hell is the Legend of the Stoned
Well-
Owl? Now, I'm going to say this from the point
We
of
were
view
gonna
of
do-
someone, who is in like every Jupiter Broadcasting show. You'd think
Yeah.
I'd know everything was, what the hell is Legend of the
Hell, you
Stoned
see,
Owl?
we were gonna do, like-
Wait, Jeremy. Do you know what Legend of the Stoned Owl is?
I think we're about to find out, Brian.
Yeah,
Chris?
I'll tell you the story.
All right.
So we were going to do like Red Ring or Achievement Unlocked. Those are great names, right? For a gaming show.
I think those are shows.
Yeah, well,
Or websites, at least.
like there's variations of them, and I
Yeah.
think maybe Achievement. So then we were going to shorten it up a little bit, but everything we did was like specific. It was either console specific or PC gaming specific or game genre specific. And at the end of the day, we just kind of threw it up. And there's a pretty good story behind the origination of the name that I'm going to have Justin tell in a future episode.
Okay.
So the show is a couple of guys, maybe 3 guys, 4 guys. We're going to have a rotating cast. And the idea is people just musing about video games. It's a relaxed, really low-key talk about just an appreciation of something that's become a big part of a lot of people's lives. It's not like a controversial show where we say something is outrageous. We just kind of, hey, video games are cool, and it's totally low-key. It's primarily an audio show, but what we've done is the video version will be a capture of our screen while we record, and the capture is almost our stream of consciousness in a way. It's whatever we're talking about. We go find trailers or images or text, or like when I make the artwork for the show, I make it right there in Photoshop while the show's going and stuff like that, or GIMP, depending on what I'm using that day. It's really kind of a cool idea for the video version. So the focus isn't on the host, the focus is on the content in the video, but the entire show's been designed around 45 minutes to an hour, maybe even 30 minutes some of the shows. You pop it in the car when you're driving, you want to hear a little bit about Mass Effect 2, or you want to talk a little bit about console gaming versus PC gaming, and kind of like just a why people like it, not kind of like a battle versus battle kind of a thing. Legend of the Stone Owl will be the show where you'll find that.
Okay.
There you have it. So that's going to be
I
coming.
just got acknowledged.
That's going to be coming to JupiterBroadcasting.com soon, as well as the relaunch of Radio Revolver, and all of the others. More audio shows are going to be good for all of you commuters out there.
Fantastic.
But now I think it's time we jump into this show.
Which incidentally
Yeah, Brian.
was brought to you by GoDaddy.com.
Holy crap.
The world's largest web host and domain name registrar.
Yeah,
if
buddy.
you're ready to make an impact online, GoDaddy.com has got you covered. Domain names as low as $1.99 plus world-class hosting with unlimited disk space and bandwidth. Do-it-yourself website builders, dedicated servers, SSL certificates,
Yeah,
and so much more. Plus, as a listener of the Computer Action Show, or a viewer, whichever one you are, enter promo code Linux, that's Linux, at checkout and take an additional 10% off your entire freaking order.
Yeah.
You could put in $1 billion in your order.
That would be a huge percentage to be taken off.
That would be, I don't even know how much that would be, but it'd be 10%
That'd
of
be
$1
math
billion.
dollars,
That'd
and
be
it'd be
several
awesome.
math 10% dollars. Some restrictions may apply. See site for details. Get your PC internet now at GoDaddy.com.
Yeah, and did you mention our Linux 20 code?
No, I didn't.
20% off hosting plans.
That is amazing. Also, there's Linux 749.
Yeah, to get a $7.49
Domain name, yeah.
And I just want to say thank you to everybody who uses those codes, because you support the show by supporting our sponsor, who has been with us for a very long time now and helps pay the bills.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's good stuff.
All right, Brian. Let's do the news. All right.
Dong, dong, dong.
So, Jay Rands, I'll intro the news story, and I have to read the headline for a few. So I don't know exactly when you'll know when to. You can always turn on the preview, I suppose, in WordCast.
I think that not using the preview is why Wirecast hasn't crashed.
You think it's running better because of it?
Yeah.
So you won't really know. I guess
It's okay.
what I could do is I'll make the first jump to the imagery, and then from then I'll just be hands off, and you can just jump whenever you feel like it's appropriate. All right, let me get my story up here. This is an interesting story. Obama story. All right. I am effing ready whenever the F you are, Jeremy.
Ready.
I am prepared, and we are going to go in 3, 2.
What's new in the news this week?
Oh. All right, Brian. Our top story on the news docket for this week.
That was really good.
President Barack Obama
No,
enforces...
forget Barack Obama. That was really good.
Thank you, sir.
Dude,
Thank you.
we're done talking about Barack Obama.
I practiced it for like 15
Barack
minutes.
Obama is so 2009.
I know.
You saying vowels stretched way the freak out, that's what 2010's all about.
2010, stretched out vowels.
You know what? That gives me hope. That's what that does.
You know what, Brian? I thought, you know what? Time for change. In terms of vowels, time for change.
It's time to change how long we elongate our vowels.
All right, so President Barack Obama has enforced a trade embargo for open source software. Now, this is kind of an interesting story. Now, have you heard about this?
Yeah.
All right. So the gist of it is that President Obama doesn't want open source software going to areas where we have embargoes in place, like North Korea, Syria, Iran, Cuba, things like that. So they contacted the Obama administration, contacted SourceForge, a popular place to get your open source bits. And they said, all right, you know what, guys? We need you to kind of simmer down on the trading of software. So they've said you need to give them a 404 page when people from these IP blocks come to sourceforge.net. Now, of course, SourceForge is pretty upset by this development because Section 5 of the open source definition prohibits discrimination against any person or group of persons.
Yep.
So the Obama administration is violating the open source principles that the SourceForge organization follows.
I'm going to take it a little step further on that one. I don't really care if they're violating like our very core fundamentals of open source. That's just kind of a dick move. I mean, that's basically,
Now,
seriously?
commercial software vendors have the same restriction. Like Microsoft has the same restriction on them. Apple does. Apple can't ship certain computers. Same with HP. They can't ship certain computers.
I think it's all. I think that's all incredibly lame.
I know they're concerned like they're going to be able to build like crypto machines or something.
That's lamer than hell. That's lamer than hell. Plus, it doesn't prevent anyone from getting software. Like you could have.
Oh no.
So so they can't go to SourceForge now. Oh, so that's the only place where you can download the source.
Well, it makes you wonder
binaries?
if like the Google Code site is going to start getting these letters and whatnot.
So and you're going to restrict all of Usenet, every BitTorrent sites. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to put a content filter on the entire internet. You stick
A dome?
No. I was thinking a salad bowl.
What about a wall? What if we build a wall?
Oh,
A fence? Oh, a fence.
Chris.
Nice.
Okay, we're
Fence
gonna build
high
a
five.
wall. This is how this is gonna work. Yeah, fence
And we got
five.
gun turrets. Only since it's virtual, it's like bit turrets. Like we shoot bits of bad things at people when they try to come from different places.
You know what it is? If people are trying to download stuff we don't want them to download, they have to listen to Twit. No matter what. All they can do is
Full
listen
episode
to
of
they can
Neil
listen to
Laporte.
Twit or the Daily Gizwiz over on Twit. They have to listen to one of those shows. That's the only thing that can happen.
Brian, why you gotta be hating on Leo Laporte? You
not
know I'm gonna
hating.
get email about
I'm
that.
trying to pump up his viewership numbers here.
Yeah,
He's like,
'cause he
wow,
needs that.
I am so popular in North Korea. Like this
Yeah.
is just the stupidest thing. It doesn't make any sense. Basically,
I
it shows
agree.
me two things.
They don't understand.
One, they don't even understand the basic concept of the internet. Like the internet is so complicated and confusing to them. They don't understand the idea of put something on the internet and you can put it somewhere else. Like
From a very high level
I can't figure that
perspective,
out.
what I hate, being a U.S. citizen, what I hate is how we try to impose U.S. laws on the internet. Like we own all of the internet. It's called the freaking World Wide Web. I mean, people watching the video version, I've got a picture of it right here. That's big. That's a big internet.
That's big. You know what?
That's a big
That's
internet.
like more detailed than I have this poster at home of
Look at that.
like the universe.
That's connections and
That
stuff.
this is more complicated than that. That's all I'm saying.
So the idea that we can control the entire world's internet is stupid. Yeah, it's pretty. It is pretty, but I don't like it. So I wanted to put that out there because it's an interesting development. It's one of those things where I think this is going to start happening more and more. I'm surprised it actually hasn't happened already, to be honest with
Dude,
you.
it's way too 1984 for my taste. I really don't dig that.
Yeah.
So companies can't do it. So if you're a company, you can't be assured that you can put your stuff out there for everyone to use. If you're an individual, you can't be assured of
Right.
that. If you're a nonprofit organization that's only goal in life is to make sure that little babies get to learn
Well,
to
and there's
read,
so much-
you can't be assured that little babies can get your stuff.
There's
That
so
to me
much
is
on
annoying.
WordPress. There's so much on SourceForge that is not like does not follow under the protected.
Dude, 90% of what's on SourceForge doesn't even compile anymore. Like, how on earth is that going to make it so that North Korea is going to kill us because they weren't able to compile this new highly optimized version of Perl?
Brian, I'm funny.
Friggin' A.
All right.
Friggin' A.
Should we move on to the next story on the news docket for this week?
Let's move on.
All right, the next story on the news docket for this week.
Yes.
The WordPress Foundation is launched. Now, this is an interesting story, Brian, because you and
missed
I,
this one.
We're big fans of the old WordPress.
I like WordPress. Yeah.
JupiterBroadcasting.com, a WordPress site. We run several personal sites, our blogs, WordPress sites.
WordPress is great.
They're good sites. I think that.
Oh, are you talking about Lunduk.com right now?
Yeah, or bin-false.org, or watchthefishers.com.
I think actually, according to the title of your blog, it's bin-flas.
Fixed that.
You did? You
I
finally
had-
fixed that?
Oh my gosh!
You-
So speaking of WordPress,
Your website was misspelled for like 2 years.
I know it, man. So I had to go in, and I'm not a big SQL guy. I had to write a SQL query to go in and change in every reference in the database.
You pulled it off?
Yeah.
Dude, fist bump.
I know, right?
Dude.
I know.
Way
I know.
to go.
But it was a big pain in the butt.
You know
But
what you should do?
I finally got so many emails about it. I was like, all right, I just got to do
You should
this.
be like a freaking software developer now.
Dude, I know.
Why aren't you
or
doing
an IT
that?
consultant or something.
I freaking
Right?
Seriously.
I think.
What were we talking about?
think I'm gonna
oh, yeah,
start-
the foundation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to go off on this whole rant, but all right. The WordPress Foundation is officially open for business. The foundation is a nonprofit organization with a mission to ensure access to a stable and free platform for web publishing.
Okay.
So what they're basically going to do is, you know how like we have a GNOME Foundation, where the GNOME Foundation
Oh, yeah.
is kind of responsible for funding certain projects, that are
Funding and
important
directing it,
and
yeah.
and one spot to donate money to and
Oh,
things
that's
like that.
cool.
The foundation scope goes beyond just WordPress itself, the core of WordPress. It also will list plugins, themes, BBPress, and social media project Buddy Press, which is something new. That are all going to be underneath the WordPress Foundation.
Actually, I got a blog post on my blog about BuddyPress.
Do you? Tell me about BuddyPress.
BuddyPress is so basically what BuddyPress is it's a theme and set of plugins for WordPress MU. So there's a multi-user version of WordPress, which is what WordPress.com uses. So if you have a WordPress.com, blog, it's running on WordPress MU, and so it's just WordPress multi-user. And then BuddyPress basically is an attempt to make it kind of like a Facebook clone.
Oh, okay.
So it has all these functions like Twitter and Facebook and a lot of social media stuff and doing microblogging and having friends and connections and posting pictures and everything else like that. Very, very cool and actually really easy to set up and get going. So if you wanted to have like your own little community that has like a Facebook just for your community, BuddyPress is the way to do that.
I got to say, I love all the crap on your blog. We got to just do a show on your blog.
We should just talk about my blog all the time.
Yeah.
It's rocking. Hey, look at us. We're watching our live stream on my blog while we're live streaming right now.
Right there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's how we do. All right, so moving on. The next story on the news docket.
You see that Obama administration? We just understood how the internet worked.
That's true. All right, I really like this story, and I think you're going to geek out on it too.
This is epic.
The next story on the news docket for this week. BOS clone Haiku, which we've talked about for quite a bit on this show.
We did a full review.
Yeah, we really talked about that. So
now it's still in
episode 1 or 2 of the
it's still in its like preview release kind of form. It's still very, very early. Wi-Fi is still not working. You don't have a lot of 3D
tricks
going.
to get it going. Wi-Fi now.
You can kind of get it working, but it's still a real pain in the butt, and you have to have a very specific set of hardware.
I hear
but
you.
it's very, very cool. It's a great OS.
I hear you. All right, so the next story on the news docket: the BOS clone Haiku gains KDE applications.
Oh yeah.
Now this is really neat. So my understanding is,
man,
and
is
Brian,
it
you
neat.
might jump in and tell me if I'm wrong, but there's essentially they've ported Qt now to Haiku.
Yes.
Which all of the KDE applications that we know and love, well, most of all the KDE applications we know and love are built on the Qt framework.
Right.
And so once Qt runs on Haiku, you can now run KDE applications on Haiku.
There's a little bit more to it than that, but that's the basics.
All right. All right. So now this is big news because it
Oh,
means
it's huge.
the available applications for Haiku just blew up. Just exploded.
Overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that means K.
Well, probably
Office.
not overnight.
This is the big deal. K Office. So you've now got a really slick Office suite, like with time trackers and,
Right. K
and
Office is great.
presentation suite. So that means that it just went in no time from 0 to like, oh my God, in like a day.
Yeah.
Haiku went from whatever, this is kind of cool,
Qt
but
is
I want
rad
to play
itself,
with it.
right?
Qt's rad all by itself.
Yeah.
But now this is actually an OS. If you put it on a desktop, because it needs a little work on the laptops, you could use this for your business right now.
So here's what's available today
Crazy.
on this platform, and this is really exciting. One of the first things that was ported over was QUTIM, which is an instant messaging program, which Haiku needed. And then there's a WebKit-based browser called the Aurora web browser.
Oh, thank God.
Nice new modern web browser. Firefox was on there, but if you're not a Firefox guy,
it was a very funky version of Firefox
it was an
too.
older one?
Yeah,
Too,
it was
and
was
then
funky.
also, this is interesting to me. Now, remember, Nokia technically owns Qt, right? So Nokia's Qt Creator Development Environment has been ported to Haiku. So if you're a Qt Creator Development guy, you can now run Haiku as your desktop.
as your main development platform.
Awesome, right?
And develop on Haiku for Windows, Linux, and OS X in addition to Haiku.
Now, postulize with me for a minute, Brian.
I would love to postulize with you because I have the most positive postulizing feelings right now.
You've got Nokia, who owns Qt.
You do.
You've got Nokia, who owns the Memo tablets, like the N900.
You made a good point there.
Well, why? I mean, Haiku is so fast.
So great.
So cool.
Yeah.
Why
I want to make
Memo?
love to Haiku.
Why Memo? Why not Haiku?
Well, Memo's pretty nice. Memo's also incredibly fast and very lightweight. It really
No,
really
I
is.
believe you. I just think it's dead. I think it's Dead Man Walking. I really do.
What?
I think Memo is Dead Man Walking. I really think that. And I think
this
when
is
you've
this is
got-
the great thing. No, no,
You've got something amazing like Haiku.
You're looking at it the wrong way.
No.
You're looking at it totally the wrong way.
Looking at the awesome way.
The big winner here is the Qt side of things.
Oh, absolutely.
Not the Memo or Haiku side of things. So
Yeah.
Haiku is great. It's a great system. I love it. Honestly, with a little bit of work, once it hits like Alpha 2 or Beta 1 or something like that and it has better Wi-Fi and a few other things, I'll probably run it as my primary netbook system because it's very, very nice. However,
it is an amazing netbook system.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
However, Memo is very, very good as well, and it does a lot of things very, very well. What's cool is now I can go in and with Qt and Qt Creator code an application one time with the same code
Yeah.
and develop multiple desktop
Yeah.
platforms,
Yeah.
including Haiku and Memo. So
That's
it doesn't
big.
for a dev, it does not matter
Right.
which platform is which or what goes where. It doesn't
And that's
matter.
a really big deal.
It's a huge deal.
Now, but again, okay. Now this is more of a what's up with Nokia, but I don't see the point to. I feel like Nokia is all over the place. I feel like
Yep.
they've got Memo, they have got System 90 or S90,
Yeah, 60.
60, whatever it is. See,
Symbian.
exactly.
Yeah.
Symbian. I noticed. Yeah, they've got Symbian, they've got Qt, and they have got Memo.
Yeah.
Now Qt works. I can see theoretically Qt. I
It's-
don't know about what about Symbian. I don't know if can you use Qt apps on Symbian?
Yep.
Okay, so I can see for Nokia Qt that makes total sense.
Mhm.
But
And Memo makes sense with Qt.
I don't.
And
I don't
that's
see.
the whole platform at that point.
Okay, where does Symbian fit?
That's-
Where does Symbian fit?
Symbian is slowly going away, I think.
I mean, you've got.
I mean, it's
in my opinion,
it's that it has a huge market share. So what are you going to do? Just immediately stop and say no one else can use this again? It has a huge market share. Like Symbian is bigger than iPhone. It's
Yeah.
bigger than Windows
but
Mobile.
The cell
Symbian
phone market
is huge.
The cell phone market can totally change in 3 years.
Oh, it can, but I'm just saying we're not 3 years down the line right now.
No, but I just
We're
wonder.
right here right now.
I wonder if maybe
You're talking 2013, Chris. It's 2010.
with Nokia being as fragmented as they are, and they're going up. See, okay, I feel like now is the time that if you don't have your A game on the cuspice of being out there, you're done. Because you've got Android that is a couple of revs away from being damn near fantastic.
But it's not right now.
It's not, but it's just 1 or 2 point releases.
Yeah.
You've got the iPhone, which is killing everyone out there with a machine gun, and then you've got RIM, which is still doing a great, fantastic job. And then you've still got Windows Mobile, so where the hell does Memo come in? Or Symbian? It's not even on the radar anymore as far as I'm concerned. It's totally cooked.
I have absolutely no idea what you're even talking about at this point.
My point
Like,
is,
I'm trying to follow you. And I love you, man.
I am
Chris,
nervous.
Chris, look me in the eye. Look me in the eye. I love you, man.
thank you, Brian.
I have no freaking clue what the hell you're talking about.
I'm nervous that Nokia.
no idea.
I'm worried that Nokia is screwing up. They're dropping the ball
So
on Memo,
okay.
Symbian,
So
and
you're
Qt.
saying Nokia shouldn't even have Memo or Symbian. They should use one of the other systems
Yeah.
like Android.
Yeah.
So is your point that Nokia should just be using Android?
Or they need to whip their dong out on the table and they need to show us something awesome that I'm like, oh my God, I have to have a Memo tablet right the F now.
Okay, I'm
Because
with you now.
The N900 is cool, but the reviews coming back are saying it's a little pokey and the phone functions really suck balls.
You know what else is pokey? Every Android device.
Yes.
So this is what I'm
But
saying
Android has way more traction than Memo does.
though. Oh yeah, it does.
There's like 200
totally does.
devices coming out in 2010 running Android.
Yeah,
Nuts.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I just like
I
I'm
don't disagree
worried
with that.
That Nokia has some of the coolest tech,
Yeah,
but
it's
is
pretty
screwing
slick.
up in the biggest way.
Well, look at it this way.
I think they're screwing up more than Palm is with WebOS.
The cool thing, Memo is great. I love Memo, but Qt is the real icing. That's what makes a lot of these things
Yeah.
great. The fact that you can have the same framework to
I agree.
develop cool
Yeah, yeah.
applications for so many platforms, it doesn't even matter. Like let's say, with Qt you can already make like Windows mobile apps
Yeah,
and whatnot,
okay.
right?
I didn't know that,
so
but
let's say at some point you can do Qt apps on Android, which will probably be a while because Android is really funky to develop on.
We should mention too. We did an episode on Qt Creator a long time ago.
Yeah, we
You
did.
could probably find that
We did
over
a
on
video
YouTube.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's up on the YouTube site.
An
We don't
in-depth
have it on
look.
JupiterBroadcasting.com anymore, I don't think. But really, I mean, Nokia's got Qt.
Yeah, no,
that's
it.
the killer.
Qt is going to be what Nokia walks away with. I think at the end, I really do. I think that at the end of the day, they'll be
I think QT is great.
they'll be dead on the operating system space, and they'll be living in the framework and the application building space. And then on top of that, like if so let's just say if Memo dies away, what incentive do I have as an Android developer, or as an iPhone developer, or as a WebOS developer
Yeah.
to use Qt?
Right now, Not much of anything.
And my point is, I think we've been talking about it like it's about to happen. The mobile space is about to explode. I think it actually is exploding right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's exploding.
yeah,
but
I think they're late. I actually think it was exploding when Palm came along, and I think WebOS was too late. And I think Nokia is behind WebOS in Palm. I'm
Probably.
sad because the N900 is fantastic, amazing.
I like how you leave Microsoft out completely.
Well,
No, I'm just saying.
tell me what they're doing.
I'm not saying you left them out because for a bad reason. I'm just thinking it's funny that you didn't even mention them. You didn't even say the word Microsoft or Windows Mobile.
You used to have a Windows Mobile phone. I used to have a Windows Mobile phone a long
Yeah,
time ago.
yeah,
We
it was a
both got
while
rid of
back.
them.
Yeah, that's sitting on my shelf still.
There's a
It's
lot.
all right.
There's a lot of honest to God potential with Windows Mobile.
Honest to God.
There's so much going on in Android that I could already, not like application wise, because the applications are way nicer on Android.
So
But there's so much stuff that Android does that Windows Mobile could already do years ago.
let me recap. Let me recap everything I
Go
just
for
heard
it.
from you.
Go for it.
It's really cool that KDE apps are running on Haiku.
Yes.
Joe, okay. I just want to make sure. All right.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's because Haiku is awesome, and I want to run it on my netbook. It was when we ran it on our netbooks. It was like I had
Crazy.
It was like I had a quad core in my netbook.
I know. And it
Nuts.
looked good. It looked modern.
And
it was
that's
great.
3D. Like even the software 3D rendering.
It was great.
Was like full screen.
And that was
great
purely
frame rate.
software.
I know.
Oh, phenomenal.
It
Phenomenal
was wild.
project.
So if you're interested in Haiku, check our old episode on that.
Yeah, I think they should.
All right. Well, we got a big discussion coming up, Brian. So I think we'll wrap.
Wait,
this.
wasn't that a big discussion?
It was. All right, we got it in us today.
I felt maybe it was just you talking at me.
We
I
might
felt
even
like
take
I
some
felt like you were a
calls.
chatty Cathy right there.
I am. It's the caffeine. We got some calls coming up too, so I think we should wrap up the news.
Okay,
We'll move on.
let's wrap. Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
That's all the news for this week. Nice, stole it from you.
Good job.
Thanks, man.
He spent all of his announcement time on the elongated vowels.
I did. Yeah. I ate up the.
Yeah,
my
you
megabytes
get no more announcement time.
All right. So iPad discussion.
Okay, ready to go.
My vote. Oh, let me get some iPad. In my vote
We're voting on this.
is we kick off the iPad talk about pros and cons of the iPad Izzle
Just name them really quick.
quickly, because the main discussion isn't about iPad. Wow, how does I searching for? Wow.
See if you can find a sanitary napkin with an Apple logo on it.
You know what I hate about Apple is they get so damn close, but they missed. Okay, this is for the show.
Save it for the show, man. We're gonna be talking about the iPad here briefly. Here, I'm ready to rock and roll as soon as you are.
All right, let me just get a couple images here.
In 3.
Hold on. Actually, I spoke too soon here.
Do you have one? Oh.
Hold on while I bring out my internet tablet.
And
In 3.
no, hold on. I gotta get one article lined up. I got a great Android versus iPad article.
In 3.
Oh, I have an internet tablet. All right, in 3.
Now I'm in the chat room. You missed your chance.
We are still recording video. Remember
Yeah,
that?
this is a show, technically. Thousands of people will watch us having just done what we just did.
Okay, so are you ready then?
Dude, I was born ready.
You're not.
Everybody, you've got a few minutes that just passed, so if you want to take a potty break just then,
You should have done it.
you should have done it.
In 3,
All right, I'm ready.
2.
So I heard that the iPad was released this week.
Yeah, Brian. So the iPad.
Yeah, the
Segment
iPad
over.
segment. All right. It
No,
was Apple Corporation.
We want to. We
You
want to. We don't want to spend a lot of time on the iPad because everybody else in the entire universe will do that.
I want very much to not spend a lot of time on
So
the
what
iPad.
we'll do is we'll quickly cover it, but we'll use it as a launching platform into a bigger, broader discussion that's more true to the name of our show, the Computer Action Show, about a trend and change in computing.
Yeah.
And kind of some ideas we have for it.
I
So
love that.
Why don't we kick off? So, obviously this week or last week, Apple introduced the iPad. I would say, let's just get this out of the way, the worst name ever.
Oh, look, I'm not going to make fun of it because honestly, at this point,
too low.
it's ridiculous to make fun of
And
it.
I think that was
It's
their logic.
Such a bad name.
I think their logic was the name is so bad, nobody will make fun
I
of it.
don't think that was their logic because honestly, I don't think they could have used logic. One,
Yeah, that's true.
it's someone else has the name. Two, it's a bad name.
Yeah.
3, there's already a Mad TV episode dedicated to having made fun of this theoretical name because it's so ridiculous.
Yep.
Obviously, Apple would never, ever
Yep.
use it.
I agree. Now, aesthetics-wise, I'd say it looks great. It looks well designed. I'd say it looks more better. The design is more better than as far as design goes than anybody else. Now, functionality-wise, I'll argue it is not as functional.
It's a big iPhone that looks like it has Down syndrome.
Yeah,
It's got like this big gap around the edge. It's
the
really
gap will go. The gap will go.
the gap will go. What do you mean?
They'll
do you
go
mean
glass
the
to
gap
glass.
will go?
The reason why the gap's there now is because they actually use glass, and the glass is not strong enough on a device this size, so it'll crack if they go all the way to the edge.
Okay.
So they put the edge there to reinforce the glass.
No, but still, I mean, it's just so. But
And
this is the device.
I like that Apple made a keyboard accessory for it. That's very un-Apple. I did not expect that at all.
Yeah, because I don't know if you've seen the touchscreen, because there's no way that's usable for typing.
The keyboard's weird. So they set a bar in some ways. 10 hours of battery life is a lot better than I expected Apple to do.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Built-in 3G, I thought I saw that coming. I didn't expect it to be $30 a month. I was expecting something more along the lines of the Kindle.
Hey, switch them over to my screen real quick.
All right.
Oh, look at that right there. There's another item you can get that has 10 hours of battery life and has a tablet
Well,
and
and
it has a keyboard
this-
and costs significantly less
Yes.
and multitasks.
I agree.
Okay, you can switch
was
back to
just-
your screen now.
I was just setting up.
No, I just wanted, just throw
I
that
was
out
just
there.
setting up the pros of the device.
Oh, that's what
Like
we're doing.
it does have a very good processor in it. The A4 chip is
yeah.
essentially almost identical to the Snapdragon.
Okay.
It's derived from the Snapdragon system on a chip. That means it's GPU, CPU, and memory controller on one chip.
That's
That,
cool.
as far as computers goes, is awesome. But put this in perspective.
That's happened before, though. It's not
That
like
is
it's
the
a
same
new
horsepower.
Thing. It's a new system on a chip.
Regardless, I think maybe with GPU aside, processor-wise, that is the same horsepower that's in the Nexus 1. So think about what
Right.
that means for the Nexus 1.
It actually bodes really well
Yeah.
for the Nexus One.
Right. Now, moving on, there's no groundbreaking being done here. But I
No.
think it does clearly mark...
Wait a minute. I just agreed with you, but then I thought about it. Apple just invented internet tablets. Am I right? Apple just invented internet tablets.
Right.
There's no
But
other
Brian, what about
device
the Nokia
that has,
N810
that has
you're
ever.
holding?
Oh, shoot! I forgot that this was in my left hand. Oh, this internet tablet. Let me.
Right.
So, but other than the Nokia N810, Apple invented internet tablets. Go back to my screen. Oh, dang it. Other than this and the line of failed internet tablets dating back to like the late 90s,
Well,
Apple
that'd be
invented
interesting
internet
because
tablets.
I suspect this will actually do fairly well, despite the fact that it does less than what's already been out there on the market. So,
Yeah, I don't know. It just isn't that interesting.
Okay.
It is an iPhone, so
now,
let's be clear.
If you could
That's
get,
all it
if
is.
you could get, let me ask you this: for this price point, because it is a good price point, surprisingly, it could be better. It needs to be $300, but it's not $1,000, which is what I was expecting.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's
not
cheaper.
$1,000.
It's cheaper than an N900, or it's about the same price. That was way less. Way less.
Here's the thing.
But if you could get an N900 for
No. It's not really, because it's an extra 150 some odd bucks for the 3G version. You're at like
Right.
750
Oh yeah,
or
that's right.
something,
N900 has 3G built in. I
just to
forgot.
be able to have wireless.
I was thinking
now
N810.
here's the kicker for me. For the same price as that, I can buy an always innovating touchbook. I can buy an Amazon Kindle, and I will have money left over.
Yeah.
So I will
But
have
let me ask you this:
a machine
Price
that is a
ap-
tablet
price aside.
that does more than that, and an ebook reader that gets like weeks of battery life.
Would you like
The same price.
a Memo device or a Nokia device in this form factor?
No.
Really, I do like this. I do like 9 inches of screen real estate to browse the web while I'm watching
Okay.
TV. But that's the only use I see for this thing.
From a geek point of view, I want toys. I want devices. I want gadgets, and I want them with big screens, and I
I
want them
feel
with
like,
little
though,
screens.
I
I
feel
want
like-
them in my pocket, and I want them attached to my chest. Of course, I would buy I would at least want to buy a Memo
Now take
device
a look
with a
at
9
now,
or 10 inch screen.
people that aren't watching the video version, I apologize, so I'll try to describe it. There's a device out there called ICD,
Yeah.
an ICD Android-based tablet. It looks really slick. It's about the same form factor, a little thicker than the tablet. Full Android, and it has an NVIDIA Tegra chip in it, which is a great GPU for these types of devices. It has a Cortex A8 1 gigahertz processor built into it.
Yeah.
And you can bring up the terminal on this thing. You can install applications from any third-party app. You can multitask.
You
Excuse me.
can.
Kind of a big deal. Now, I think the iPad is a better form factor, better look, but this device has the power. This has more of the power. And I wonder, the first thing I think non-basic consumers are going to want to do when they get their hands on this device is they're going to hit a wall with horsepower. Now, my mom won't hit a wall,
No.
but my dad actually would. My dad we were talking about at dinner, and as soon as I told my dad it doesn't multitask, he was like, "What?
I know.
What?
Why?
What do you mean it doesn't
Why would I
multitask?
possibly even want that? Now, just to get this straight, they have a device with an Office suite on it that doesn't multitask.
Mhm.
An Office suite that doesn't multitask. So if you're writing a document, you can't jump out to another app, jump back in, copy and paste.
Right.
So hop over to my screen real quick.
Alrighty.
Let's just throw this out
Wait,
there.
that's my screen. Sorry.
I
Jerem,
don't
I'll let
want
you
your
run
screen. All right, this is Lenovo. Over at Lenovo.com, they've just released, and it is shipping now. The S10 3T tablet. This is their ideal line of netbooks. It's just a netbook, right? Except it's a multi-touch tablet where the screen swivels around and folds down. It's nice and powerful. It's got the N450 Atom processor, so it's the new line of the Atoms.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's very, 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 very peppy. It comes bundled with Windows 7 Starter, which, but you can put a better Windows 7 or Linux or something on it. It's got one of the newer Intel GMA chips in it, which is still going to be pretty decent.
That's fine
Better-
for HD playback and whatnot.
Better than what you can get on the iPad.
Yeah.
A lot of RAM, 10.1 inch screen with a nice resolution, a big old hard drive, great battery life. Oh, and what's this up here? It's $550, and you have a complete computer plus a tablet. That's awesome. And the screen is better, and it's got a better form factor.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying this to say, oh, the Apple iPad, how stupid, poo, poo, poo. I'm just saying, no, there's really, really interesting, really compelling, such as the TouchBook, such as the Lenovo tablet.
Well, and check what's coming out from
That's
Lenovo
really cool.
soon, which is announced at CES.
The detachable.
Is I don't know if I have a full screen of my screen here. Do I, Jimmy? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So this guy here is it's a detachable screen from a laptop. It's a full-fledged Core 2 Duo laptop. A full machine. Close and opens like a regular laptop, but then the screen will pop out, detach. So the main laptop is designed to run Windows 7, but you pull the screen out, it boots into an Android Instant On OS, or I'm sorry, Linux. Oh my God, a Linux Instant On OS. You walk around the house, you touch the screen, you do whatever you want to do. And then you come back, you set it back down on the laptop.
And I think it
comes
keeps
back
the
into
home
Windows 7.
folder synced or something like that.
It keeps files in sync. It's so cool. And this is kind of like one of those things where you look at this and go, this is what I want. I want a full machine, but if I want to go watch TV for an hour, I'm just going to break this thing off and screw around on the web for a bit. I think that's really awesome.
That's really awesome.
And that's the direction I want to go, but that's probably too complicated for some consumers. As ridiculous as that sounds, I think it might be true.
But like the Lenovo tablet. There's no rebooting into something. Most users, they're just going to get it. It's running Windows 7,
the Lenovo
which
flips
is gonna be
around. It's a
fine.
full machine.
It's a full tablet, and it has a keyboard, so it means entering things on it is fine. Plus, it's got the touch. Plus, it's nice.
Yeah.
So it's cheaper. Again, you can buy the Lenovo tablet, and then go out and buy a Kindle. Like one of the cheap Kindles, and you're a little bit more than an Apple iPad, but not by a lot, guys.
But what we're talking about is this is to me such a clear trend of moving towards this mobile computing sort of new kind of class of machines. This sounds so stupid and so generic, but it's so true. It is more of a personal interface when you can hold it in your hands and you touch to do things. The mouse and keyboard are very removed from the interface, so there's something like I hand people. Actually, a great example is the nav in my car. It's touchscreen.
Yeah.
People have never used the nav in my car before, but because it's touchscreen, there's
They can
something
figure it out.
more intuitive to be able to touch what you want to do.
Oh, it is nice.
Having this kind of being able to have it on the coffee table. That's what I love about the Kindle. I have it sitting on my coffee table. I pick it up. I read for a little bit. I set it back down from any of my library of stuff. So to me, it's interesting because our desktops and laptops are getting so powerful that we're almost like, well, we don't need that much power for most tasks. So now we're sort of turning again, going to more low-power devices. But these low-power devices are now able to accomplish things that we were doing with our main machines a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It's an interesting change. And
It's
the
a
one thing that I
hugely
think the
interesting change.
iPad could really do that I want to see sort of pushed out to all the other tablets is the iPad will turn into a content-consuming device. Imagine the Computer Action Show in a blog and video and audio form. There was an app for the iPad full 10 inches that you clicked on, and it was the Computer Action Show, and every article we talked about was displayed, and you could read it, and you could touch the video, the thumb of us, and you touched it, and that segment of the Computer Action Show automatically started streaming while you're holding it right there on your couch. What an awesome way to watch the Computer Action Show. But I think the iPad will bring some of that forward, but then I think the rest of the market will take it forward.
I think it's cool, but I mean, really, you do that, you're stuck holding the Computer Action Show
Well, they have stands.
that you have to buy separately, and
Yeah.
they're kind of expensive.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they're kind of
course, it's
super
Apple.
crazy expensive.
It's Apple, so of course
They're like the price of a Kindle to buy a stand
well,
with like a keyboard.
I don't think they're that much, but I think that
It's like $170 to get a cheap keyboard.
yeah, no, I know, I agree with
It's
you.
super crazy.
But I
expensive.
think we'll start seeing that kind of stuff. I think this is the direction. I mean, there's perfect is
Here's another thing.
textbooks.
Here's another thing.
Think about how much more awesome textbooks could be for
No,
college.
I kind of agree with that, though. I was in kind of the textbook market for one of the companies I was working for quite a long time. And the problem is, for book reading, you don't want a color
You don't want
backlit display.
you
want something like e-ink. Now, e-ink is great because it's low battery and all that sort of thing. But what it's
easy on the
really
eyes,
great
too.
about it is it's super easy on the eyes. In fact, reading from a computer display all day is actually bad for our eyes.
They need to have like a mode. But here's the thing. E-ink is slow, so like if you do it, I've tried magazine subscriptions on my Kindle, and it sucks. Like going through the different pages, like it's so slow. Like on the iPad or any like a Lenovo device, being able to go swipe my hand, flip, like I would on a regular magazine.
Sure, that's great.
And if the magazine worked in like music and pictures and sound that were interactive, that'd be so cool. Now, of course, I won't be able to use Flash because it's Apple, but that whole like
And it'll be
interactivity.
harder on your eyes.
Yeah, but if I'm a student and I could throw a $500 tablet in my bag, like Angela had to buy textbooks. One of her textbooks, one of them, $350. $350. 2 textbooks, another $350. She's already paid for the tablet.
All right, so let's think about this. So, no, it's not going to be like $500. You're going to be spending about $700 to $800 to
But
get
she
a version.
She spent $1,100 one quarter on books.
But so think about this. So you buy one of those. Let's say you buy Apple's tablet.
All right.
You throw it in your bag. You're reading a book. You want to do a report on it. You can't. You're frigging stuck. It doesn't multitask.
Right.
Or
you have to close the book, open. No, you'd only use it for reading.
Or you have a separate device. What's wrong with having two very light? Now, I usually in my bag I have a netbook and a Kindle. And I usually have my tablet with me. But you don't need my tablet, but netbook and a Kindle.
Yeah.
So Kindle, that's my book. That's all my books with me all the time, and it's a very light device. I throw open the netbook.
You know what? You're
that
right.
I can do the work on. It makes more sense to have them in 2 devices. It doesn't actually make any usability sense to have a all-in-one device where all of your books, your music, your video, and all the work you're doing is all on one small non-multitasking screen. That doesn't actually work. Even if you are multitasking, you're switching away from stuff to do stuff. Or I can just have a book device and a computing
Now I
type
agree,
device.
but here's the thing: is who they're selling to. That stuff, color is going to factor in. Color is going to be important. Be able to watch. So if I'm a student, I'm looking at
color is great, but you can get color e-ink and it's coming out
But
over the next year.
let me say this: if I'm a student, I'm looking.
not ink, but
I'm
you know
looking
what
at, and they're going to start putting textbooks out in more. There's already some. They're going to put more out in the Kindle, and Apple signed up like with all of the 4 big university publishing companies for the iPad. Now, if I'm a student and I'm looking at the iPad versus the Kindle, I'm going to say, well, let's see. The iPad does have iPod functionality. The iPad can watch videos. The iPad has 140,000 applications, some of which I already know are awesome because all my friends have them.
Yeah.
Or I can get the Kindle and I can watch a video. I can read a book. And if you're looking at the DX, the iPad, the base iPad, and the DX are the same price, and it's going to be like, well, the iPad does 10,000 things more, and it's in color. For students, they're going to be like, well, snaps, color. I like color, and they're going to buy the iPad. I'm just saying the Kindle needs to step up.
No, wait.
I don't think the Kindle's dead, but the DX might be
isn't
dead.
a $700 device.
No, I'm talking at the $500 price point.
But the $500 price point doesn't have any 3G to connectivity.
But who cares?
But the Kindle does.
If you're
so
a
you can be
student
anywhere and
or
download your books.
Where do you go?
And it's free.
Where do
and
you
I don't
go
have
that
to
you don't
pay
have
for it.
Wi-Fi? Where do you go that you don't have Wi-Fi?
Most places. When you're
What
driving,
places are you going to?
when you're driving down
I go
the
to barbecue
hold on,
places
hold on,
and I have Wi-Fi.
Hold on. When you're driving down the road and listening to your music, do you have Wi-Fi?
Well, I have a Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. So, but you have an extra device that you pay how much per month?
Well, I don't know.
No. But if you were to, it's about $60.
I think it's about 60. Yeah.
It's about $60 a month.
Yeah.
It's about 60 freaking bucks a
Right,
month.
right.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Everybody, hold your breath.
And the iPad is $30 a month for unlimited.
Okay, $30 a month times 12. So just to be clear, if you buy an iPad in order to have free always on wireless,
Right.
like you have with the Kindle for buying your books, it's
Yep.
$360 a year
Right.
minimum.
But you don't see. I think if you buy the 3G version, you're
Minimum.
throwing your money away. I don't think there's any reason to get the 3G version unless you like. Back to the universities. Universities are blanketed in Wi-Fi.
I got to be
I
honest.
come home, I got Wi-Fi. I go to my clients, I got Wi-Fi. Everywhere I go, I got Wi-Fi.
So I've got a couple of ebook readers at home because I was doing a lot of development for ebooks.
Those are all dead. If you're not the Kindle,
No,
you're
no,
dead.
no, no. Here's the thing. I've got the Kindle. I've got the Iliad. I've got the Sony PRS. I've got a lot of ebook readers. The only one I keep with me ever is the Kindle.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not. No, some of them have Wi-Fi. Some of them don't. The
Kindle
Kindle
always
has
works.
always on the WhisperNet wireless.
yeah.
Always on. So that's the one that stays with me because that way I can grab whatever I want whenever I want. No questions asked. I don't have to pay for it.
But see, the
nothing.
reason, so they have a 200 megabyte data plan for the iPhone, for the iPad, which is like $10. But see, the thing is
So $120 a year.
the problem with the iPad is you can download video, you can download music, and you can download applications. On the Kindle, you're downloading a 200 kilobyte book. And so they can afford, and per terms of the
Sure.
Kindle development agreement, if you go over a certain data rate, they charge you for it. They charge the developer.
For the Kindle SDK that's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's an advantage the Kindle has based on the luxury of the limitations of the device. The Kindle can get away with WhisperNet
I agree.
because you can't do some of the stuff you can do on the iPad.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying from a pure usability
Yeah.
standpoint, I would wager this. I'll get myself like a Lenovo tablet or the Always Innovating Touchbook or something
Sure.
like that
Oh,
and
yeah.
a Kindle.
Me too.
I'll take away
too.
your Kindle. I'll make it so you can't have anything else but an iPad.
I wouldn't want that. For
This
me.
is what I'm
For
saying.
me, I wouldn't want
This
that.
is what I'm saying.
I'm saying for
from
general
a
consumers, I think they
usability
might.
standpoint. Okay, like Jeremy, our good buddy Jeremy, sitting behind the camera here waving at
Hi,
us.
Jerms.
Now, Jeremy, we love him. Are we right on this?
Sure.
Great guy. He's kind of retarded when it comes to things. So, but now this is the way it is. Jeremy, I would put in the camp of prosumer. He's smart enough to know what's going on,
Sure.
but he's more of a general consumer kind of guy, right? He's not going to go developing software or anything like that, probably. But he's a prosumer. Honestly, I think if he ended up with an iPad, he'd end up pissed at it, kicking it, and throwing it through a window.
Yeah, but at
now
the same
he
time,
might have bought it, but that's going to be the last one he ever buys. And I swear to God, he would start burning effigies of little Apple logos everywhere.
I would be dumbfounded if a year from now the iPad isn't multitasking and things like that. But
But you still need a separate
you
device
can't
for
downplay-
reading versus everything else.
the applications in the iTunes store for the iPhone and iPad are pretty good. There's some really good ones.
That's great.
So,
But do people already have iPhones?
yes,
Then why the hell do they need the application a second time?
you don't. But if you're looking at the Kindle v iPad, that's the catalog of applications really.
No,
can't
no.
be-
If you're looking at Kindle v iPad, you want a good book reader. Of course, you're not going to buy an iPad. You're going to
See,
buy the one that's
I think
a better
the iPhone
book
did really
reader.
well because it was at the time it came out the best browser for the web. It's
No,
not
that's-
anymore.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And then it was a full-on iPod and it was a full-on phone. It's because it did those three things and email that it became popular. I think the iPad will do
I
the same
agree.
because it's not just for books.
Right. In fact, it looks terrible for books.
So their stats that they quoted, the 10 hours of battery life are 10 hours at video playback. The book reading is 140 hours. Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad.
They use
The battery life looks good.
They use a different type of screen technology, so it's not as hard on your eyes, but it's still not going to be as good as e-ink. So, do I regret the Kindle purchase? No, I'm sticking with the Kindle. But I think this Kindle and Lenovo and the iPad and what HP's Slate, all this stuff, to me, I would be dumbfounded if in 10 years, 90% of the regular consumers out there even have desktops.
But here's the
I
thing.
think in 10 years, desktops are done for mom and pop.
I think you're probably right. I think honestly though, where
Maybe
I
not even
like
10.
what the trend that I like is the netbook / tablet devices. The devices that are both. The devices that have a keyboard
Yeah.
so I can type
Like that new
decently fast.
Lenovo and
Because honestly, with the iPad, that's not going to do it for me or for my mom or for my uncle or anyone else because they can type at 4 words per minute. It's not going to happen for them.
Yeah,
Now,
I agree.
if they were super nerdy and super into Apple and they just wanted an extra device for web browsing around the house without Flash and really didn't like Flash, then it would probably be
But
fine.
here's the thing.
But as a replacement device for having no other computer in the house, it actually won't work. No video chat, no chatting with your friends, no Facebook really, because you got to have Flash on Facebook in order to make it actually work. There's no way to actually type on it at a reasonable speed. So of course it's not going to function in that purpose.
I agree with you.
It's a secondary device for people who
Oh,
like
it's totally.
Apple products.
It cannot be a primary device.
That's all it is.
It can't be a primary device, but I think 5 years from now it could be. Maybe it's not Apple's, but this type of this class of machine, I think in 5 years could be a primary device. That blows my mind.
I agree.
That blows my mind,
I
and it
agree.
makes you, you know.
Well, I've got this little tablet I've got here. It's a small screen. It's a little tiny guy, but honestly, constant companion. I love these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I love having tablets. They're fantastic. But I like having a tablet with a keyboard. I like having a tablet that multitasks with cameras that I can chat with my friends on. I can hop on Skype and make phone calls.
Yeah.
That's power. That's enabling me to do something. The iPad doesn't enable me to do anything. It actually reduces my ability to do things.
Same with the
I can
iPhone, though.
I can do less with the iPad. If I got an iPad now, my life would have less flexibility.
I think it's also more okay in the iPhone because it's a phone at the end of the day.
It's a phone.
And
And
so,
anything else it does is extra, and you buy that over another phone because it does some extra
you know,
stuff.
I'm running
That's
my
it.
Droid and I'm running my iPhone at the same time right now. I've been doing that for almost 2 months. And
Right.
I have been doing it for 2 months. And at the end of the day, if I have an emergency, I have a client that's pissed and I have to make a phone call, I'm still going for the iPhone. Because if I have some app that's going totally ass crazy, I hit that home button and the app's closed and my phone is
And
pristine.
it's just a phone.
The Android,
Yeah.
I found out. So I've been having problems with the Droid, and I've made a few changes, and it's become my battery life has gone from 6-7 hours tops to now a day and a half. That's a huge improvement.
Huge improvement.
Huge improvement. And the thing about it is that stability, directly with that is stability. Now, there's still problems with multitasking on a phone, but on a device
Yeah.
like this, there's no
There's
excuse.
no excuse.
There's zero. Especially when you're throwing in a gigahertz processor and you've got 64 gigabytes of storage. You know, this is high end, but for me, out of all this, it makes me want to get a Nexus 1. Out of everything here, I want a Nexus 1.
You know what I really want? I think I want that Lenovo tablet.
I think we should open up the line, so if anybody wants to call in the IRC chat room, they can. We'll discuss this a little bit, and then or we can move on.
Yeah.
People are done. It kind of depends on.
Oh,
All
here we
right,
go.
we've got a call. All right, we've got Project Morris online. Hey, Project Morris, can you hear us?
Hi, yeah, I'm just going to turn the stream down a second.
You're a good man. Good man. It's always an important thing to do when you call in. Is you want to make sure it's like when you call into the radio and they're always like, "Can you turn your radio down?" It's the same thing.
Yep.
Well, it's not only that, but it's a hideous lag between the
Yeah,
video.
it's the lag. There's a delay.
Okay.
So what's going on, man?
iPad.
Yeah, the iPad.
I when I watched the show, the keynote show with Steve Jobs, every time I looked at it and every time I saw a picture of it, I thought, I want that device. I want that device. And yet, now I've had a time to think about it.
Yeah.
There's things about it which really kind of tick me off, and I think Brian's got a good handle on that, in so much that it's just a grown-up phone.
For you,
I
is it
think-
the
Yeah.
multitasking? Is that the number one complaint?
It's a phone operating system on a
Yeah.
on a tablet.
Well, which
It
is
should be
ironic
op-
because it's supposed to be based on OS 10, right? So they took something that's fantastic at multitasking, shrunk it down to something that can't do multitasking, and now they're putting it on a device that should do multitasking. And we already know it can do multitasking because the phone can check email in the background. You can run the iPod program in the background.
Yep.
So it's capable. It's just limited artificially.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's crazy, and I struggle to understand where it fits at the moment. But I take on board what you said about in the future being able to video call your friends and have it on the coffee table instead of firing up your computer, which might be in another room.
Yeah,
I think that's absolutely the place.
That's what
it
I
should
was
be.
thinking. At $300, if they could get this thing to $300 and they put a camera, which is one of the biggest faults of this thing, in my opinion, you put a camera on it, you're at Thanksgiving, and because it's $300, it'll be like the iPod. Everyone will have one, and you could pass it
Yeah.
around, and you could make video calls to each other and be like, "Hey, we just want to say Happy Thanksgiving," and you could literally pass the pad and get gravy all over it as it goes around the table, saying hi to the family that's across the country or whatever. That's an amazing thing that's just been totally left out.
Always innovating touchbook, $300.
There you go.
The
I'm just
only
saying.
problem with that, Brian, is that from all accounts, that is really screen heavy. And then if you
Yes.
get it anything above 90 degrees open, it just falls over.
Yeah. No, the
It's
screen is supposed to be very, very heavy on that one. But the flip side is the Apple one falls over no matter what. That's not a joke.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
just going to
Unless
fall
you get a
over.
$75 stand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they're in the right place, and every time I look at it, I want it. As soon as my head kicks in, I start thinking
Yeah.
about it.
No, they're
And that's
really
a
good at the
shit.
emotional thing. And you know what it is what
Oh,
they
heck,
do.
they almost got me. Like halfway during the keynote, I'm like, I might want this. By the end of the keynote, I had to pull myself back, and I'm like,
Well,
no, I don't. I don't want
what
this.
Apple does, and this is what every company out there needs to do so they can get the same sort of effect, is if you notice, Apple goes up there and shows you what they say is this is how it's going to solve the problem in your life. And they lay out like 5 scenarios of how it's going to solve a problem in that particular thing. And you're like, oh, F. I hate that. I want that fixed. This tablet will fix it. But it doesn't really. But what they do is they show real people how it's going to be used. HP's Slate, their solution was give it to Ballmer to talk about for 5 minutes in a very, very lethargic way. And now expect sales to rain from the sky.
And the horrible thing is that HP Slate actually looks really cool. It looks like an incredible product, a great piece of hardware. Actually, the software looks pretty good on it. Everything about it basically screams does everything that this does, including it's got the Amazon Kindle built-in store and all this other stuff. It actually looks better. Everything about it is more powerful, but their demo was so bad.
Yeah, well,
It just sucks.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. All right, man.
That's what it is.
Well, thanks for calling in, Project Morris.
Okay, guys. Bye.
Talk to you later.
Later, man.
All right, so if anybody else wants to call in, they can, or we can wrap this segment up because we've talked about it quite a bit. I don't know. How long are we going here on the show there?
Who knows?
Jeremy? Huh?
51 total.
All right, so
Wow,
we're coming
that's
up
amazing.
we're coming up on an hour, so we should probably
Man,
wrap it
can
up.
we rock it
And
or
that's
what?
it. Project Morris is a good guy, so I think that's a good call to take, and then we'll move on from there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
all right.
I agree.
Well, that's our look and our take on the Apple iPad announcement and the general trend for personal handheld computing.
Yeah. I'm going to take my headphones off now.
All right, so now we just need to wrap the show, and then we'll go grab lunch and come back. Oh, we're running a little tight on time.
Yeah, we're really tight on time. Gozer's already in the chat room.
I'm hungry.
I'm starving. I got to eat.
Do you want to? Can you PM Gozer and see what his schedule looks like?
Yeah, find out with Gozer.
Let's start the wrap.
All right, let's wrap.
Ready?
Oh,
Whenever
betcha.
you is.
In 3, 2.
And I do believe this brings us to the end of this week's broadcast of the Computer Action Show.
Awesome, sir. And, of course, we should say we always appreciate when everyone purchases from the store at jupiterbroadcasting.com/store for any of your needed gear. We have stuff in there like what we use to record the show, stuff we use in our daily jobs, junk like that.
It's very, very fancy. I've been working on an updated store for like ever.
It's a
now.
task. It's a task.
I don't know. Did I tell you my laptop died?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's harsh, man.
Harsh.
That's
so
harsh.
I'm on my netbook right now.
You're living on the netbook.
So I've got a netbook, and then I've got this little HP next to it. I've got this HP laptop that, I kid you not, costs $470, $480, maybe $490, like 5.5 years ago. It was the cheapest netbook or laptop I
Fold
could
laptop,
buy 5.5 years ago, and it's crawling right now.
Yeah.
Technically runs Compass though. So I'm running Ubuntu. Can hit a little boop, little super key,
Nice.
swoosh, super smooth. But then when I go to launch an application, super slow.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's like there's just something on the board that's just dying. Huh?
Yeah,
The
it's
controller's
not
going out or
so
something.
good. Yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'll
That's
survive.
how it goes, man. Computers die. It's 5 years is a pretty good service for a cheap
That's
laptop.
not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll survive. So anyway, if you want to get a hold of us, you can do so over at our forum over
Yes,
at
sir.
jupitercolony.com. The rest of our shows, of course, being over at jupiterbroadcasting.com.
Yep.
Any other ways?
Well, if you want to tune in live, like probably about 200 people. I don't know how many people we've got tuned in. About 200 people today, and we've taken live calls and we're in the chat room.
Good times.
You can find out announcements about that over on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Jupiter Broadcast.
That is amazing.
How handy that is.
I love that.
It's based on our name, so it's really easy to remember.
I love that.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks so much for tuning into this episode of
Hey,
the Computer
Jeremy.
Action Show.
Hey, Jeremy. Do I love that? Jeremy says I
He
love
said-
that.
He nods approvingly.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, and we'll see you in a fortnight.
Later, everybody.
All right.
All right, let's do the intro. Type.
Should I? All right. I'll keep the recording going for the folks watching at home. so
All
you
right,
can
we're
see
gonna
how we
we're gonna do the intro. I'm gonna put my headphones back on so I can hear myself. Otherwise, I go a little overboard sometimes.
You do.
Oh, right,
On the
everybody.
Computer Action Show.
All this week. On the
All right. What
Brian
should I say?
Action
What
Show.
should I say on the Computer Action Show?
It's like every other episode.
Is the
Yeah.
Obama, right? We should talk about Obama administration.
All right,
Breaking.
guys. Let's see. Goes or didn't see. PM.
Breaking is the Obama administration breaking open source.
Great show. Brian and Chris go off topic, and the chat room tries to choke Brian in the head.
WordPress Foundation
all right.
launched.
Obamastic.
I don't know that Colloquy sends private messages correctly. I've never been able to talk to anybody.
Oh, it does, dude.
Well, it's a
Trust
Mac,
me.
dude.
I just get PMs all the freaking time.
Oh man, I'm hungry.
Where's Gozer in here? Is he in the chat?
Oh yeah.
Cryptic?
Yeah.
All right. So you right click on and just say send PM? All right. Obama administration.
Well, is he coming through the Flash chat?
Oh.
He might not get private messages through the Flash chat. I'm gonna close these off.
Is the Obama administration breaking? Well, do you want to just call him?
Who
I have
does
his number
nowadays?
somewhere. I don't know where it is though.
What's love?
Hey, cool.
got to do?
Cool. Is my screen up? Check that out. Check out how awesome Google Docs is being right now.
Oh, nice.
Thanks, Google Docs. Thanks. The power of Google Docs. Screwing
I'm
up.
good. I'm good to go.
You already got the whole intro in your head?
Yeah.
You didn't get any of it? Ah.
None of it's saved.
Let me save.
None of it's
Let
saved.
me see. Do you see it? If I do that. Now do you see it? Crap. I swear.
Google is losing today. In Washington here, it's 2:41 Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah, I can't save and close. I'm totally boned. Totally boned. I can close that.
All right, I'll start typing something.
I'll get it. I'll get it.
Intro.
I'm just going to go out. I copied it to the clipboard. I'll go back and paste it in.
All right.
Google Docs. I get a lot of text messages, so I don't know.
There you go. Google Docs.
I know. I was trying to get Jerem's his contact info. I got it right here, Jerem, if you need it. Are you cognizant of me speaking?
His contact info?
Yeah. All right. So the Obama administration WordPress and its new foundation. We chat about the future of WordPress and its new fancy foundation. How's that sound?
New Fancy Pants Foundation.
Foundation.
If you're saying fancy, you got to add the pants.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Do you have his phone number there?
Yeah. We geek out over
Ah.
ADE applications. I'll tab over.
And everybody can see Jeremy's backside. This is the Jeremy backside cam, everybody. Everybody give it a hoot holler. I would like everyone in the chat room to rate Jeremy's backside 1 to 10 right now.
I gave him a 9.
Jeremy gives it a 9.
That might not be right though, actually, because look, then I got a thing saying.
Ooh,
coming
we got a
back to you, it was
3.
Not successfully delivered. So
We got an
maybe I don't
8.
have- Oh, here it is, right here. Check
Ooh, an 8, 2, 7. Man, the chat room is mixed. Either it's fantastic or it's horrible.
Does Chris like unicorns? And then they're what was the question?
There's whistling, pie. Ooh, pie. I like pie's the good one so
Oh.
far. Jeremy's ass is stoked.
All right.
Oh, man.
So coming to Haiku.
Man, that's the most active we could possibly hope to get any chat room.
And you have my ass
Then
Thanks, Jeremy's behind.
under 9,000.
Somewhere in between E and Pi.
Hey, is this Dan? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. How's that typing going?
I don't know. My name on there is Jeremy Studio, or is it, I just might not be getting it.
I don't think this is a word I'm using.
Yeah,
What are you
think
using?
Must be a problem with our software.
Hypostualize.
Anyway, so here's the deal.
I
We
like
are
it.
starving.
Hypostualize.
Is your schedule open, or should we do the interview and then do lunch?
Yeah, we could always do the interview first. Plus so much more. All this week on The computer action show.
Let's go ahead and. Are you getting any PMs from him, Chris? He said that he tried to contact you.
I think I have PMs turned off. Oh wait, no, I don't. Never mind. No, I do have PMs turned off.
You do?
Yeah, because I was getting so many, I turned them off.
Yeah, he turned them off.
All right, this week in Computer Action Show is the
I
Obama
think
administration
that,
breaking
we're
open
gonna
source
run lunch
rules.
then, and we'll probably be looking at about 3:30 to get things rolling. Okay? Not a problem? Okay.
Tell him
we'll
thanks.
see you then. All right, bye. What? Oh yeah, what's your username on Skype?
But we can
I don't want to say it
stop
on the air.
there.
Okay.
Can we just call him before we start?
Yeah, he said he wants us to call him.
Yeah.
When we're ready.
But we
Yep.
can stop there and me hypo.
You gotta fix that because I was talking to Jeremy
Yeah,
at that
we'll
time.
talk-
But we
talk
can't
about it.
stop.
But we can't stop there, and we hypostualize all over the future of portable computing.
Hypo.
Do you want me to type it in or something?
What?
His Skype name, just so I don't lose it from my brain.
Oh, sure. Let me get up a note. Hold on. Don't put it in there because I'm gonna make that public.
Yeah.
I need the keyboard.
Oh.
And Brian's ready to go when you guys are. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, you never would have remembered that. Are you kidding me?
No, I always put a TH in there.
All right.
Huh.
Ready whenever you are, Brian.
I'm ready to hypostualize, ladies and gentlemen.
Jeremy, you ready to record audio versions of this?
Boy, if anybody's still watching the video version, you're troopers.
Yeah. With all my butt talking and everything.
All right. Are you ready to record audio?
I am ready.
All right. You ready, Brian?
Oh boy, am I ready. Yeah. Hey, Jeremy. This week
Oh God!
on the Computer Action Show.
Those are staying off.
Oh, this week on the Computer Action Show. Am I clipping?
Nope.
Are you freaking with me?
No.
I'm awesome. Let's rock and roll.
In 3.
This week on the Computer Action Show, is the Obama administration breaking open source rules? We chat about the future of WordPress and its fancy pants new foundation. Then we geek out over KDE applications coming to Haiku. Then we size up the iPad and compare it to its competitors. But can we stop there?
No,
No,
sir,
we
cannot.
can't. We cannot stop there. I don't want to. I don't want to be stopping there.
All this
That would
week
be a mistake.
On the Computer Action Show.
Hypostualize. Computer Action Show. One more time?
Yeah.
Hold on. But we can't stop there.
Yeah.
It's kind of worded weird. Hold on. Then we size up the iPad and compare it to its competition. But we can't stop there.
But we don't stop there.
But we don't stop.
But if that's not enough,
the problem is
we've got to
but-
take it up a notch, and we hypostualize all over the future of computing, portable computing. But that's not enough.
Then we kick it up a notch.
He already said then at the beginning.
And we size up the iPad and compare it to its competition.
But
then-
how about instead of then you say, but in true action style? Because you already say then at the beginning of the sentence.
Yeah,
So in true action style, we kick it up a notch.
like it. Notch and hypostualize all over the future of portable computing. All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
Hey,
Germs.
Jeremy.
Germs.
Oh, hi. What?
Macro activated.
I'm keeping the outtake, by the way.
Am I recording?
Not yet. But you are now.
Water. This week on the Computer Action Show, is the Obama administration breaking open source rules? We chat about the future of WordPress and its fancy pants new foundation. Then we geek out over KDE applications coming to Haiku. Then we size up the iPad and compare it to its competition. And in true action style, we kick it up a notch and hypostualize all over the future of portable computing. Plus so much more. All this week on the Computer Action Show. How's that? That clipping?
Love it.
All right, so we're gonna run to lunch, but I'll play the pilot of
Yeah.
Legend of the Stoned Owl, which has never aired before. So I'd love to hear your guys' feedback when we get back.
Woo. All right, we'll be back in about a half hour, ladies and gentlemen. Hang out with Legend of the Stoned Owl. I have no freaking clue what that is, but you can.
There we go. Let's see. We'll do this thing. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legend of the Stoned Owl. My name is Chris,
I'm Justin.
and this show is all about game news.